Welcome back to the Final K. Now, in the UCI World Tour calendar, there are 37 races, and with Dwarsdorf Vlaanderen finishing today, that is the 13th so far. So we have already completed 35% of this year's cycling season, and we have seen historic moments, we have seen absolute nail-biting finishes, and we have seen pure domination. So in this video, I'm going to give a season recap of this season so far. Along the bottom of your screen, you're going to see all the races that have been completed so far this season. And on the right-hand side of your screen, you're going to see all the topics in which I'm going to cover today. We've got top 5 teams, races, top 5 sprinters, GC riders, and one-day racers. Now, just a quick disclaimer, this is my opinion. I'm no expert, and trying to look back and remember everything that has happened this season is quite hard. It was a lot harder than I expected. I said, I'm going to do this, and then sat down to do it and went, oh, you're joking. It was a lot harder than I expected. So if I do miss anyone, I do apologize. But at the end of the day, let me know who your top 5 is if I did miss anyone. But if I did miss anyone glaringly obvious, I do apologize. But this is just from, this is from what I have gathered. So let's get straight into it. So let's start with the sprinters first, and as you can see, I've got an honourable mention, and I have an honourable mention for every category of this video. But first honourable mention is Ethan Vernon. He got a win and a second place at this year's Tour Down Under at the very start of the year, and then he went to the Volta Catalunya there recently, where he also picked up another second place and another stage win, so it has been pretty good for him so far at NSM. So let's move on to the top 5. Now before I do, I don't know if it's just me, but I actually think the sprinters have been pretty weak this year. Now, there has been like pure dominant performances from sprinters, but I think as you go further down the list, you see less and less of them. And I don't know if it's just me, if the people aren't on form and people are out injured as well, so that is a factor to take in. But it doesn't seem like there are a lot of sprinters doing well this year. I don't know if it's just me, but it is just something that I have observed this season so far. But yes, 5th on this list is Jasper Philipsen. Now, Jasper Philipsen didn't have the best start to a season for Jasper Philipsen standards. He got a podium at the Tirreno Adriatico. He got 3rd, which was a very good performance. But after that, he went on to finally win his first race of the season. He won the Norca Corsa, and then he got 2nd in the Ronde van Bruges, and then he went on to win Ghent-Wevelgem. So it has picked up, the form has picked up, so he gets my 5th spot this season. In 4th, I've got someone which may be a bit controversial. I don't know, you could swap my 3rd and my 4th about a bit, but I've got him in 4th. So I've got Dylan Groenewegen in 4th. So Groenewegen started off his new season at the Unibet Rose Rockets with a bang. He won his first race of the year. It was the Classic of Valencia. After that, he sort of dipped in and out a bit. He got a podium at the Etoile de Bessèges, and then he got a podium at the Classica Almeras. He then went into the Classic season over in Belgium, and he ended up winning the Breda in a Coxside Classic. 2 days later, he went to the Jean-Pierre Montser and won it. And then 2 days later, he went to the Ronde van Bruges and won the Unibet Rose Rockets' first ever World Tour win. So right now, he is on brilliant form, and he gets my 4th spot. So 3rd on my list, and like I said earlier, you could swap him and Dylan Groenewegen about, just depending on how you feel, but I have got Jonathan Milan in 3rd. An absolute monster of a man, where he started his season off at the Alula Tour, where he picked up 3 stage wins. He then went to the UAE Tour after that, picked up another 3 stage wins as well as the points jersey, and then after that he went to the Tirreno Adriatico, where we didn't know if he was going to get a win until the final stage, where he finally got his win at the Tirreno Adriatico. Now, 2nd on this list is probably the most controversial rider on this list, because I don't actually know if you could class him as a sprinter, but he has been on fire this year in the stage races, in the flats and the rolling terrain stages. It is Dorian Goudon. Now, Dorian Goudon got 2nd in the points classification in the Paris-Nice behind Jonas Vingegaard. He got a 2nd place at the Paris-Nice, and he also got a win at the Paris-Nice as well. He then went on to the Volta Catalunya, where he won the points jersey. He got 5 top 5s, and that included 2 second place finishes and 2 wins. So he was on absolutely fire form at the Volta Catalunya, and he takes the 2nd spot on the sprinters list. Now, number 1 on my list, the best sprinter so far this season, in my opinion, and I mean, if you haven't guessed who it is, you must be living under a rock, but it is Tobias Lund Andresen. Now, where to even start with Tobias Lund Andresen's season so far? Like, he has been on fire. He got 4 podiums at the Tour Down Under, one of which was a win, and he ended up taking the points jersey at the Tour Down Under. He then went to the Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race and came 1st in it. He won a stage in the Tirreno Adriatico against the likes of Philipsen, Arnaud Delis, Jonathan Milan and Paul Magnier, and then recently there he got 2nd at Ghent-Wevelgem behind Jasper Philipsen. So it has been a monster of a season so far in the sprints for Tobias Lund Andresen. I can't believe it. I finished recording this video, sat down to edit it, and I've realised that I must have accidentally hit mute on my mic, and from, the last bit you've just seen, from there is all fine, but from now to the end, like 80% of what the video is about It was all on mute, so I am gutted, and I apologize if I sound deflated whilst recording this, but we're going to move on to my top 5 teams. In fact, I'm having to do this again. My top 5 teams are, my honourable mention is the Unibet Rose Rockets. They've got 5 wins so far this season, one of those wins being their first ever World Tour victory, so they're going to get my honourable mentions at this point in the season. Team number 5 is going to be Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. Now, they've got 10 wins so far this season, but all of them have come from Remco. Jordy Mew's got a victory as well, but the Red Bull in the one-day races are looking very good. They're always at the front. In the E3, they were rolling attacks off the front of the peloton as well, so they have been looking very good, and they're going to get my top 5 spot. The 4th place spot is going to go to Ineos Grenadiers. Now, they've got 14 wins so far this season from the likes of Axel Laurence, Filippo Ganna, Dorian Gudon, Andrew August has got one, Sam Watson, Sam Welsford, so a big variety of race winners. They're usually at the front in stage races when Gudon is riding, so I noticed in there at Dwarsdorf-Vlaanderen as well, they seem to be at the front a lot, but they aren't. The 14 wins, very, very good, and yeah, that is my number 4 spot. My number 3 spot is going to go to Decathlon CMA CGM. Then they've got 9 wins so far this season from Paul Sexas, Paul Lapierre, Tabashlon Andresen, Matthew Riccatello, and there's a few others as well, but absolutely unreal. They've had like a complete 180 after the new rebranding of CMA CGM, but all the youngsters are winning, and it is looking very good for their future. Tish Benoot and Olav Koy, their 2 main signings this season, haven't even rode a race so far, and they're doing this well. The one-day races, they're always at the front. Always at the front, in numbers as well, and in stage races, the team time trial, which was a bit iffy, but Dan Hula carried him in it, and they've looked very, very good. So they have number 2 on my list is Visma. They've also got 9 wins. They're always at the front. I mean, you could swap these 2 teams about depending on how you're feeling, but they have a lot of top 10s. They have a lot of podiums in the one-day races. They have 9 wins, but I edged them up more just because of the podiums and the top 10s. But yeah, Visma, I mean, 2 Grand Tours, 2 stage race victories as well with Jonas Vingegaard. They were really good at helping him. Number 1, obviously, UAE Team Emirates. They've 17 wins so far this season from Jay Vine to Morgado to Tim Wellens, Pogacar, Del Toro. I'm trying to think. Have they really been at the front in any of the races? I noticed them in the front on stage 1 of the Volta Catalunya, but they aren't really there in the one-day races though. I've already filmed it before, but I might actually change this here now. I might move UAE down a bit. I've got them up here obviously because there's 17 wins in Pogacar and Del Toro, but I'm trying to think as a team. I might actually move them. Yeah, I'm going to change it. So I'm going to put Visma in first, Decathlon in second, and UAE third. So that is my new revised list. So UAE go third, Decathlon second, and Visma in first. So that's my teams done. Let's move on to the one-day race riders, and my honourable mention is Wout van Aert, who got 10th at Strade Bianche. He got 3rd at Milan San Remo. He got caught with 1 kilometre to go in Gent-Wevelgem, and then he got 2nd at Dwarsdorf-Vlaanderen there today. So he's been very, very good in the one-day races, a lot better than most people have expected so far, like a lot better. But it is good to see him doing well this season. Now, number 5 on my list, I have actually a few. It might actually surprise a few people, like because of where he is finishing in these one-day races. I've got Tobias Lund Andresen. Now, I'm going to read off the list because I've done this all before, but he got 1st at Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race, 6th at Omlot, 7th at Kurna Brussels Kurna, 13th at San Remo, 6th at E3, and 2nd there at Gent-Wevelgem. So they are massive results in one-day races, like a lot of top 10s, and 13th at San Remo. And a win as well. He's my 5th. In 4th, I have got Florian Vermeersch. Now, he doesn't have the results to back it up. He's got 2 third places. He got a 3rd at Omlop. He got 3rd at E3. He got 15th at Ronde van Bruges. He got 31st in Gent-Wevelgem, but he had a massive impact on that, obviously going with Van Aert and Van der Poel. Then they dropped him, and then he was on his own. Almost brought them back. Well, I'd say almost. It was about 10 seconds, but he was on his own. Looked like he was going to bring them back. And then Dwarsdorf-Vlaanderen, he got 55th, and he also looked good at that as well. He got caught in the final, within the final kilometre, ran out of energy, and then got thrown out the back. But he's not on here for his results. He's on here for what he's actually doing in the race, and he's looking brilliant, and he's making races more exciting. So he's my number 4. Number 3 might actually surprise a few people. I have got Tom Pidcock in number 3. He started his one-day season off at the Classica High-End, which he got second in. He then went to the Strada Bianchi, which he dropped his chain twice on the Monte Santa Maria. I think he would have actually finished higher if he didn't have to worry so much about his chain, but if buts and maybes and all that. But he then went to the Milano Torino, got first in it, looked absolutely unreal in that race. He looked very, very good. And then went to San Remo, and we obviously know what happened there. Sprint to the line with Pogacar. Obviously staying with Pogacar at that level, nuts. But he gets second in the sprint, but he still gets third place in my ranking. On my second place, I'm sure you can guess who 1 and 2 are, but what order I'm going to put them in, I'm sure you don't know. But for 2, I've got Mathieu van der Poel. Now, first at Omloop, 8th in San Remo, first in E3, and got caught with 1k to go in Gent-Wevelgem. How can you fault that? You can't. You could swap Van der Poel and my number 1, who I will save until I mention him, but you could swap them two about any day you want. San Remo, he crashed, he dropped, Pogacar dropped him, and then Gent-Wevelgem, he got caught with 1k to go. It didn't even, I don't think it really looked like he was, him and Wout van Aert were doing that much work together. They weren't going 100%, like, put it that way, but he got caught with 1k to go, and then he's taken my number 2 spot. My number 1, if you haven't guessed it, Tadej Pogacar. Now, he's my number 1 because he's rode 2 races, Strada Bianchi and Milan San Remo, and he's won the pair of them. I mean, you can't fault that. Pick 2 races, win 2 races. He's got the Tour of Flanders here on Sunday, will probably win it. So there's 3 out of 3. He's got the Paris-Roubaix next week, probably win it. There's 4 out of 4. Like, I mean, he is a monster, like. And he's my number 1 just because 2 races, 2 wins. And it's exactly what you would want for him and want from him and expect from him, seeing as he only rode 2 races. So let's move on to my top 5 GC riders so far this season. As you can see, Mauro Schmidt is my honourable mention. Now, I've got him as my honourable mention because he got 2nd at the Tour Down Under, he got 4th at the Tour of Oman, and then he got 1st at the Coppi e Bartali. It was a stage race in Italy. Still a win. I've got him on here as an honourable mention. Not riding the biggest races, like, but a win's a win. You know, in a stage race, take it any day. He got 2nd at the Tour Down Under, 4th at the Tour of Oman. So yeah, he is my honourable mention. Now in 5th place for my GC riders, I've got Felix Gall of Decathlon. Now he got 5th in the UAE Tour and he got 6th in the Tour of Catalunya. He got a podium in a stage in each of these races. And he has looked pretty good. In the UAE Tour, he attacked a bit early on both of the climbing stages. Catalunya, the podium he got was on the La Molina stage, which Jonas Vingegaard won. He got 3rd in it. Well, obviously he got 3rd or 2nd, but I can't remember which one. Yeah, he's looked solid so far, and he's got my number 5 spot. And number 4, I have got Tobias Hallen Johannesson. Now, he rode the UAE Tour as well. He got 9th in the UAE Tour with 2 top 10s. He then rode the Tirreno Adriatico, where he got 4 top 5 finishes, 2 of which were podium places. So a massive performance from him in the Tirreno. I think I said he got 4th in GC in the Tirreno. I can't remember if I did, but he got 4th in GC in the Tirreno. It was brilliant. One of his wins was in the final stage where he just nabbed it off of Jorgensen on the line and got 2nd. So it has been very, very good from Tobias Hallen Johannesson, and he gets my number 4 spot. Number 3, I have got Lenny Martinez. Now, he came 7th in the Paris-Nice, 7 minutes down. Sorry, 5th in the Paris-Nice, 7 minutes down. That doesn't reflect the performance he gave. He got caught on the echelon stage, the one where Juan Ayuso and all crashed on, had the abandon. He got caught out on that in the echelons. So he had to do a lot of work to get back. But to get 5th in the Paris-Nice after that, I think he was like 7 minutes down or something at one point. But he ends up, that is what he finished on. I don't know, my head's all over the show now because I'm doing this for a second time, but he was very good. He won the last stage in the Paris-Nice. He beat Jonas Vingegaard in a sprint. And then he went to the Volta Catalunya, which he got 2nd in, 1 minute and 22 down on Jonas Vingegaard. He got 2 podium places in that race. So 22 years old from Bahrain, and he's on fire at the moment, and you can't take anything away from him. He's looking very, very good. In 2nd place, I'm sure you can guess who the 1 and 2 are, but in 2nd place, I've got Isaac Del Toro, who, self-explanatory, won the UAE Tour, won the Tirreno. In the UAE Tour, he got 2 wins and a 2nd place. In the Tirreno, he got a win and 2 2nd places. So just another different breed for his young age. Like, he is very, very, very good. Number 1 is Jonas Vingegaard, who won the Paris-Nice in record time to 2nd place, and then he went and won the Volta Catalunya, winning 2 stages in both of them. He got a 2nd place in Paris-Nice as well with Lenny Martinez, but he has been on planet Mars with his form, pretty much, put it that way. And the Giro d'Italia looks like it is going to be a a clean sweep for a victory. But yeah, that is my top 5 for GC riders. And finally, onto my top 5 races so far this season, my honourable mention being the UAE Tour. I thought it was fun. The first stage was good when Ball almost caught Del Toro in the final 100 metres, but Del Toro just had enough to stay out. The Jebel Mobber looked unreal. That climb looks class. Taberi won it. Del Toro chasing him down as well. Looked incredible. The Jebel Hafid climb, Taberi and Del Toro both going at it, was very, very good. Del Toro obviously coming out on top at the end, but I think it didn't get as much praise as I expected. A lot of people don't like this race, so I enjoyed it, and it gets my honourable mention. In 5th place, might actually surprise a few people, I've got the Strada Bianchi. Now, I've got it in here not for Pogacar's attack from like 60-70k out. I've got it in here for the battle for 2nd place. Now, the battle for 2nd place was brilliant. Sexas, Del Toro, Gregoire, Gianni Vermeer, Wout van Aert in there as well, Jorgensen, Jan Christen. My hot take was a top 3 for UAE, but that battle for 2nd place was brilliant. Seeing Sexas dropping Del Toro on the final climb in the San Gimignano was very, very exciting to see someone that age doing that. So it gets my number 5 spot. Number 4 is going to go to E3. Now, I thought the stage was, when Van der Poel attacked, I thought this race is awful. But when Florian Vermeer, Red Bull were stringing attacks out the front, but then when that Vermeer, Hagenez and Abrahamsen group formed and went up the road, caught Stan de Wolf. Stan de Wolf was brilliant in that race, but they caught him. Gonna bring it back 1 second. I don't know how many times I've spoken about it, but 1 second away from it. And then they all threw the head up, and Van der Poel wins. He's hanging over the handlebars, getting that victory. It had to get 4th place, in my opinion. 3rd place is the only stage race on this, was the Tirreno Adriatico. I thought this stage race was actually very, very good. We had the gravel climb with Van der Poel, Pellizzari and Del Toro all sprinting to the line. In San Gimignano, I've just realised that I've said that the Strada Bianchi finish there was in Siena, so apologies for that, but that's where the stage in the Tirreno finished. Then we had the mini Milan San Remo stage where Van der Poel won it as well. We had Ghana, Wout van Aert, Pellizzari getting 2nd, and then we had the second to last stage with Del Toro winning it, sailing the GC, Jonas Abrahamsen coming 2nd, Jorgensen in 3rd, and then the final stage with Magne, Philipsen crashing, and then Jonathan Milan getting the win with Ghana chasing Abrahamsen down into the final kilometre. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a brilliant stage race. Now on to the top 2. Now this might actually, I don't know if it's going to surprise a few people, but my 2nd place is going to go to Dwars door Vlaanderen. Now, it finished today. What a race. Still, trying to calm down from it, but Ghana takes it. What a race. Attacks left, right and centre all day. It was brilliant to watch. Brilliant for any one of you, unless you're a Wout van Aert fan, but it was brilliant. It was a brilliant viewing experience with everyone attacking. You had obviously Wout van Aert attack on the Eichenberg. No one went with him. He caught Ruben Gregoire and Nicholas Larson. And then you had everyone chase him down into the final kilometre where Ghana is a gap on the peloton, does his attack, does his thing, and beats Wout van Aert, who comes 2nd for a 2nd year in a row. But my number 1 goes to Milan San Remo. Now, some say this is the most boring race of the year until the final 10 minutes, but they got a surprise this year when it didn't pick up until 35k out this time, so we got more excitement when Pogacar, Wout van Aert, Van der Poel all crashed. Everyone thought, what is going to happen here? Pogacar makes it back on for the Cipressa, attacks with Van der Poel, Pidcock going with him into the valley between the Cipressa and the Poggio. Little Trek are pulling them back. You're going, they're going to get them. I think they got it under 10 seconds as well, I think. Then Pogacar, Pidcock attack. Van der Poel drops. They go over the top of the Poggio together. Into the descent, you think Pidcock's going to drop him here in the descent. Then Pogacar goes to the front of the descent. He's putting in a big shift. At the bottom of the Poggio, they go clear. Peloton hit the bottom of the Poggio. Wout van Aert attacks from out the back of the peloton. He ends up getting 3rd at the end of the day. You see him just behind the 2 of them, as he's actually clawing them back. Mads Pedersen, pretty much his first race all season after breaking his wrist and collarbone. He gets 4th, and then the sprint between Pidcock and Pogacar is unreal. So yes, let me know your top 5s for all of them categories, or even if you want to make your own, just let me know. Yet again, this is my opinion, and apologies if the last half of the video I sound depressed, because I can't believe that my mic was on mute for that. I was gutted when I seen that. I apologise if I did miss anything. There is a lot that has happened this season, and it's trying to remember all this to get this video out. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. 7 subscribers off of 250, 57 off 300. I'm live on Sunday for the Tour of Flanders. I should have the preview out for that in a few days. But yes, thank you for watching the Final K, and all the best.